Graham Olkins with a breaking news update. Just minutes before it was set to take effect, a federal judge has blocked President Trump's freeze, a pause on federal grant funding that goes out to nonprofits, goes out to states and other agencies across the country. U.S. District Judge Lauren Alley-Kahn blocked the action this afternoon, again, just minutes before it was set to take effect at 5 o'clock Eastern. The White House had planned to start this pause as part of a review of federal spending. But earlier today, when this was announced, this plan from the White House caused confusion, even some panic among organizations that rely on this federal funding for their programs. The administration said that Social Security, Medicare, food stamps, student loans would not be affected, but there are a host of other agencies and nonprofits that depend on these federal grant dollars to stay up and running. So again, there is a pause now, at least until Monday, a temporary pause on this executive order from President Trump to freeze federal funding at least until Monday. So that means now all of the programs, all of the funding will stay in place as is at least until this coming Monday, and then we'll have to go from there. But again, a pause from a federal judge on Donald Trump's executive order that would have frozen this federal money that goes out to nonprofits and other organizations.
Lots of nonprofits are hustles. And I haven't, suffice to say, race baiting, gender baiting hustles that need
the religious hustle too, though. I mean, there's those ones too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
There's a lot of that.
There's a period.
Yeah,
but we've had to sit under the Democrat agenda and narrative for the last 4 years, so now it's time. Now it's time to get under ours and kind of see what direction things are going and what we want to be wasting our money on, like $50 million going to condoms in Gaza.
Yeah, it's a little ridiculous.
Oh, I mean, I understand funding birth control in Gaza. You can kind of nip that in the bud, but the reproduction of that, you inevitably do away with the reproduction. Yeah, of people you deem the enemy. I guess I can understand that, but all joking aside, why are we funding gender studies in Pakistan? That was a big one a couple of years ago. Why are we sending $50 million to Gaza for condoms? It's this thing. It ain't going to condoms. Yeah. It's a damn lie.
Right.
It's going to
graft. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to somebody that did something else. Like, all right, we're going to say you did this for condoms, and who's ever going to follow up to make sure the condoms all got equally distributed?
That's as old as time. I mean, it's kind of federal aid or overseas international aid.
Because first of all, I mean, what I know about Islam is, are they even having premarital sex? I mean,
we're not supposed to, but I'm sure they're just like
Christians aren't either.
Yeah,
but it's way more. It's way more stuff like that's way more enforced over there.
Yeah, I mean, depends on what Muslim country you're in.
I mean, I know they rape Jews and Americans and all that, and apparently that's just part of it. That don't count. That's whatever. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it depends. Like, I mean, if you're a place like Pakistan, where that would be more heavily enforced, and I don't know how. I mean, I don't know the enforcement, but yeah, I mean, if there's definitely, it's a harsher type of Islamic law in certain countries.
That'd be like Sharia law.
Yeah, Sharia, right. In certain countries it would be a lot harsher. Yeah, it depends on which one you're in, and I don't know the enforcement mechanisms. Like, how do they know someone's having premarital sex? I don't know how that works, but yeah, I think there's just a little bit tougher. But
yeah, I mean, and I know in government money wise, $50 million ain't a lot of money, but if we're wasting it on that, what else are we wasting $50 million on? And, it starts to add up, and boom, you're at $1 billion real quick. We've gotten way too comfortable in this country just throwing billions around.
Yeah. No, I mean, we just, especially like what you just said, like why is our responsibility to give, how much money was it to the condoms? $50
million.
There's a lot more to this than.
Yeah, I want a full audit done on this and everything else.